Hello. Oh, whoop. Yuli here. So, I'm going to be picking back up with my YouTube channel. And I think I'm going to be a bit more consistent with it. Try to keep things a bit more engaging. And so, the first welcome back video, we're going to be talking about something that just sort of came up for me. That was just triggered in me. Somebody was talking to me and saying that they wish nothing but the best for somebody. May they be free and may they heal and be at peace. The freedom bit is the bit that really caught me, because I was like, aren't we all really free? The only thing that's keeping us from being free is really ourselves, our own entrapments, whether in the mind or attachment to things, attachment to our suffering, which suffering in itself is the root, attachment is the root of all suffering. So it really got my mind spinning about the concept of freedom, of which foundations of countries are built, relationships, etc. But in these terms, we'll just go ahead and discuss it in terms of relationship. Okay, so this person was really talking about a beloved, and it was really a beautiful sentiment. But it triggered something within me, because at the end of my marriage, the person who was my husband at the time had said to me, after a year had gone by and I had gone back to school and begun my student career as an artist, and I was creating all kinds of wonderful things, and I needed to do that because I was shattered. And, you know, on the hero's journey, you go through the tower moment, the chaos, and the unbecoming in order for you to become who you are. And so essentially this shattering had to happen in order for me to become. However, I was not at the point of seeing things that way. And so my ex-husband had said, you know, had I not set you free, you would not have become that person. You would not have created these beautiful artworks, and you would not have stepped into the beingness of you being an artist. At the time, that really rubbed me raw. It really did. It chapped my behind and burnt my wick. And I was like, well, who are you to take credit for my growth? You know, had you not shattered me, yes, of course, you know, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to step in for myself. And granted, quite a bit of it was like to be a distraction from the pain, but I did learn a lot. And really, you know, him saying that to me, you know, it was like, don't you think that I would have rather have stayed in my nice, comfy home with my dogs and my family and my whole life that I had? Don't you think maybe you could have just come to me and said, hey, it's not working with us, you know, in this work relationship where we had together. Maybe, you know, you wanted to be an artist. Maybe I can help foster that in you. We're now in a financial situation to where we're able to do that. And, you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Yes, I could have probably gone to a better art school. I could have had a whole lot more support. I could have stayed with my dogs in my big, beautiful house and stayed in my relationship that really clearly wasn't working. But who knows? Maybe that not working together might have actually benefited. But, you know, this is shoulda, woulda, coulda. And so I suppose technically he kind of was right when he said that to me. Granted, he doesn't have a spiritual cell in his entire body, didn't at the time, but essentially he was right. Now that I admit this in this moment, right now, to myself and to all of you, he was right when he said that to me. Had he not ended the marriage, and we agreed together to end the marriage, I would not have gone through that huge tower moment and that chaos. And I would not have probably learned the same lessons that, had I stayed with him and had that alternate course of still going to art school or whatever, there were still people that I needed to meet. My path still was here in Virginia Beach. I still had to have certain relationships to learn certain lessons. And had he not instigated that divorce and the end of that relationship, I would not have had those relationships. I would not have learned those lessons. And I'm very grateful to have had those experiences. I would not have gone down this path of substance abuse. I would not have, I don't think that I would have. Maybe perhaps I would have, but we don't really know. All I know is that this is my story, and this is how things have unfolded, and I have to accept it. I can continually look back at it and be woe is me and be in the pain and the suffering. Or I have a choice, which is our free will with our contract and the way that we transmute things and become the alchemist of our lives, and to increase our frequency, to step up to the next timeline, to evolve our soul, where now I can say, okay, I no longer feel this pain because I can now turn that into gratitude, where now I am grateful that I had that experience. I'm grateful that while it was painful at the time, I see now all of the wonderful experiences that I've had, even the substance abuse, because now I get to be living in this life of sobriety and of making an impact with others in such a fulfilling and magnanimous, beautiful and wonderful way. So, and with that feeling, I do feel very free. We are essentially free, always. So circling back around on this bit about freedom, to say I set somebody free, it still kind of sticks in my craw, because we are all free beings. We are beings of light, having an experience in a fleshy body, according to our soul contract, and the choices and decisions that we make, which create our free will. Now, sometimes our paths align with other beings, in which case then we have a relationship. So, and then in that relationship, our paths are aligned. When we no longer are in alignment, that relationship splits. I'm not going to say that it ends, because it's always a possibility that our paths may be aligned again. How many times have you been going through life and all of a sudden somebody you knew years ago that you thought you would never see ever again pops back into your life? That just happened to me also today. So it all just has to do with your soul contract, your frequency, the lessons that you've signed up to learn in this lifetime, the roles that each of the soul family members and friends have signed up to play in your life, and you've signed up to play in theirs. Because it's not just about you, it's also about them and the experiences that they're getting out of whatever is their perceived story. So you may be having one reality, but they're going to be having maybe a totally different reality because they don't have the same soul contract. They don't have the same experiences that you've had that have shaped your perceptions. So with this freedom bit, it's just for us to honor each other's soul contracts. That if we no longer are in alignment, to allow that. Like they say, allow what needs to crash, allow what wants to flow, not to have attachment, have connection, allow all to be, and there will be a whole lot less suffering and a great awareness and understanding and compassion and healing that can happen through this process. If we just allow the process and we don't resist and we just allow each other our sovereign nature, which is to be free. And with that, I love you all so very much. If you've enjoyed this content and this discussion, or you have anything to add, or you would like to share your experience, please do feel free to comment below. I am open to constructive suggestions as I venture down this path of YouTube. And if you like what you've heard, give me a little thumbs up so I know to keep offering you the same, something similar. And if you want to hear more and continue on my journey with me together, then hit the subscribe button. Thank you so very much. I wish you all a good day. Mwah.